team. It's another week of finding joy on the journey with Khalia. It's all about competitive greatness. And every week we're discovering something new. And most importantly, thank you, Khalia, for just being you and the courage to let us join you. And for you really to receive that you're ready to push yourself into greatness. You're ready to be the best Khalia you can be. And with that comes a lot of everything, a lot of fear, a lot of courage, a lot of what the heck am I doing? So many things showing up. So let's start with something that you and I committed to doing for our 10 moments, which is all about sticky notes and us just writing down the things that matter. What are some things that showed up for you last week that you wrote on your sticky notes?
Ooh, some things that I wrote. I just had like a really amazing like 4th of July weekend. So I kind of did some reflecting about that. I haven't written on my notes yet. I just got mine off Amazon. But like the moment that like really sticks out to me, and there's like a picture too. So it like kind of really helps solidify it, is like me and Brittany went to this place called La Perla, and it's like a really like non-touristy part of Puerto Rico, right on the like coast of the island, and a bunch of these like small little houses, live music, and like there was a moment where we like looked up and the sun is setting, so like the sky is kind of all these pretty colors, and there's fireworks, and like I don't know, just like truly such a beautiful 10 moment. And I feel like I've just been like, I don't know if I've talked about this with you, but experiencing things for the first time a lot here. And that gives me like feelings of like awe and gratitude a lot. And I'm thankful for those.
And what do you want to name that 10 moment?
I don't know. It was such a 10 moment. Like firework fantasy is my
Okay. I love it. So, Khalia, in our conversation today, I just want to stay with that experiencing things for the first time, like being real, being present. And the gift that you're giving yourself on this journey is it's a pretty simple journey, right? I mean, it isn't that you were spending lots of money or you weren't at the best of the best place. You were with a friend that you really cared about. You were being present where you were. You were enjoying just the community that you were in and kind of the simplicity of it. Let's talk about the gift of connecting to your heart and what matters and how it fills you up with joy.
Yeah. I don't know. I think like for me, a lot of the times I struggle with like if I'm worthy to be having these moments, and it's my little Khalia that's hurting, saying that like I don't know if I should be having these moments. And I think a lot of the times I have to check in with myself and what's the right word? Evaluate. I don't know, not the pros and cons of the situation, but like how genuine it feels to me, how it's going to affect me in the future, things like that. And um, staying present is also like the biggest thing, I guess. But yeah, I think sometimes if I struggle with that, I just have to go back to being present and taking it all in, and like gratitude. I really like think that grounds me a lot. Even in the bad moments, it helps me appreciate like what is good and what is going on, and that's positive. But I just feel like for example, this weekend it was really easy to like be grateful and to be present, and I'm just like really committed to taking that with me even in the not so fabulous moments.
So, Clea, the skill that you're speaking about is just being for you. And that's a new skill for athletes because we're more just what's worked for us in the past is like performing and making sure and having getting our identity and getting our validation from other people. So for instance, we go out and we play volleyball, and if you win, you feel really valued and you feel like you contributed and all of that. So this is a new muscle that you're committed to really doing the reps on and developing, which is your authentic self. Like, who am I away from volleyball? Who am I
Mhm.
when I'm not an athlete? And what's interesting about this is you're pretty out of shape. Like, it's not something that an athlete is really strong at doing unless you invest in it and take the time and think about, what is a 10 to me? Like, as soon as you're experiencing something, what do I love about this moment? Well, and you just kind of take an inventory of, I'm with somebody that I really care about. I'm laughing. I'm feeling like I can be myself. I'm not performing for anybody. It's simple, like whatever it is that shows up for you, it gives you a chance to do the reps on you developing who you are as a person. So
I
go ahead.
Sorry, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Because I was talking to Brittany about this once again, and we were kind of saying like how transformative it is to be overseas and like what a unique experience it is, because this was something that I didn't really understand yet because I've only been playing for 1 year. But Brittany was like, you can really reinvent yourself anytime you want. No one knows who you are, no one knows what you're like at home. And I feel like in a way, like I completely agree. And after like living in Italy last year, I do feel like I grew a lot and was like reinventing myself for the better. But do you think we can have like seasons as a person, and like I'm different in every season too? Or is it just like our teammates around us make us different?
Well, what I value so much about that questioning is, you would say in this conversation that it's about going overseas that gave you that. I would be really interested in, could we, for people who can't go overseas, could we take that experience and dissect it in a way that you have the ability to transform yourself wherever your situation is?
Mhm.
Because that's much more powerful than giving the power to, I have to go overseas to discover myself, or I have to get a new relationship to discover myself. I mean, this is usually what we do, is that we feel the desire that we're not being our best self or our authentic self. Like, we want this growth to happen. And we start looking outside of ourselves to, where can I go to make this happen?
Mhm.
And what would it feel like if we went internally and we were like, what do I need to really develop into being my best self? And
Yeah.
that comes down to who we're hanging out with.
Yeah.
What's really important is choosing the people that really stimulate you to reach for what you aspire for, rather the people that just make you feel comfortable or make you feel good in that moment. Or, and that's a great evaluation tool from that growth perspective. And you said it, is it my teammates? Is it Italy? Is it this? Is it that? Good questions. More importantly, you're going to take Khalia with you wherever you go. So how can you start to be like, wherever I am, I'm going to figure out how to be my best self? And what is
Yeah.
that? What's my definition of my best self? And you want to watch your film on that. Like last night, I was really fun. I felt like I was a 10. What made you a 10? Well, I was hanging out with people who I felt really comfortable with. I was in an environment that was small, if that matters. See, right? Like, I mean, these are the fun parts about this adventure that's so much more exciting than trying to like manipulate it or demand that it happens.
Yeah. I also just like that really resonates with me because I feel like sometimes I'm having such a great time in Puerto Rico. It makes me like kind of feel bad that I wasn't having the same experience at all in Italy. Like it was just much harder. I know weather is like a big factor and like small things like that, but I also think I'm more committed to like bringing my team with me here. And like even, for example, like even if I go out with my teammates and I'm not that close with them, so it's like harder for me to like go out and like really feel re-energized.
Yeah.
But I go out with them, have fun, and then like going home and like FaceTiming McKenna or like whoever it may be and sharing that with them like does definitely re-energized me. And it's both my teammates doing that and McKenna, like both of my teammates in a way, my life team and my sports team. But I feel like I didn't do that as much in Italy, and I wasn't connecting with like my power sources. And I feel like I definitely need to do that more when I'm overseas. It's also such a long time that you're in Italy and it's the winter, but I don't know. I think I'm definitely more committed to doing that this year once I get the chance to.
Well, because you learned it. So that's the great part about watching film is that you went to Italy and you didn't do it. And you know exactly how you feel. What was your stat on last season in Italy? Scale of 1 to 10.
I feel like it was an 8.
Excellent. Now, the good part is you came home from Italy, you made it an 8. You took a chance on going to Puerto Rico. I know we were on that journey with you in terms of, do I do this? Do I not do it? Another part of really discovering you is saying yes, because if you say no to things, there's no room for growth.
Yeah.
Even if you say yes and it's a struggle, you're going to get something out of it. So you said yes to Puerto Rico. So, and on the journey of Puerto Rico, you're learning things that you get to take with you into your Italy season.
Yeah. And I do very much agree. And I think it's like important for me to like figure myself out here and figure out what's a 10 and then bring that with me to Italy and always have that in my mind and like in my heart.
So what you said was a winning strategy is being present where you are, going out with your teammates, having fun, and also having a life team that you can connect to. And what's really great about technology and FaceTiming and distance and all of that, you don't have to have your life team with you all the time. You can still share that love of adventure. You just want to have somebody that you're connecting to. So it's relationship and connecting. I know Kenna's in Dallas. She's a long way from you, yet she's a phone call away. And so just that investment in going out, having fun, and then coming home and connecting to another relationship to share it actually makes the experience more fun versus actually, because you actually go through it twice, right? So you experience and then you get to come home and you're telling somebody that you love and care about the same experience. Now you've connected it and the two of you are sharing something.
Yeah. I like really like that. And it just like makes me smile thinking about it too. So I feel good.
So relationships, right? It's all about those. They're not easy. So we know that we all have performance barriers that come up, and mainly because we feel vulnerable and we make some not so fabulous choices. We hurt people. I mean, that's just us being human and really having relationships that are anchored in love.
Yeah.
And so when you watch your film, you and Kenna have been friends for a long time. So you've got some film on that from just a love perspective. What have you learned about just relationships with, you know, girlfriends, people that are on your life team that aren't always on the journey with you?
Um, they're definitely difficult and it definitely takes a lot of work, but like I don't know, like it's just like so great. And I think like McKenna and I are like very special because like we always say, like we're like soulmates in friend form. And I don't know, it just like feels so good to like have that in life. And like I've talked to like Brittany about it, for example, about like how crazy and like weird it is even to like experience it because it just like we just click so well and like when we talk to each other it just feels so supportive and good. And McKenna's been like going through a little bit of a hard time, so I feel like I've been supporting her a little. And we like got off the phone last night and Brittany was in the kitchen when we got off the phone, so she just heard like the last little part and she was like, I really do think you guys are soulmates. Like it's really crazy to like listen to how you guys talk to each other and the support that you give. And like I just wish that upon everyone. Like I really do think it's important to like have a person like that. And I think I could survive without her, but I like wouldn't really want to, you know? It's just like so nice to have that
So we're
support.
talking about having your person or your people, right? The value of who your people are. What I want to just reiterate is that you started off with it's tough and it's difficult. And
Mhm.
so many times when, like you say, you wish everyone could have kind of what you and Kenna have, they want what you have, they don't do the work to make it happen.
Yeah, me
So
and my have thought thought a lot.
well, so let's just talk about the work just so people get a clear understanding. They're listening and they're like, you know what, I definitely want what you and Kenna have. There's a whole
Yeah.
story that goes with that, right? There is a lot that happens inside that choosing. And I just want to be real about the fact that great relationships have great hurt and great hardship and great everything with them. And that's what makes them great.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been friends for like, for all the people listening, for like 8 or 9 years now, I guess. Um, Met in high school, and high school was like definitely hard. Everyone's struggling, everyone's hurting. I think I was hurting a lot and took out a lot of the things I was going through on McKenna and like hurt her a lot. And that wasn't fair. Then college, you're just like transitioning as people. You're trying to be there for each other, and it's hard. Sometimes you say the right thing, sometimes you say the wrong thing. Whether that person wants to hear it or not is like a whole nother story. Um, Got through college, then we took like a little break in our relationship for like a year, and now we're reconnecting again. And I think that's part of the reason it feels like so great now too, because we did spend a year apart, like really not talking at all. Um, and yeah, it just feels like so good to like have her back in my life again. But it definitely like it's not always roses and daisies, you know.
Yeah. And Cleo, wouldn't you say that it's based in truth, the fact that both of you are doing the very best you can, and it's not always the best for each other? So, you know, like you said, you took out your hurt on her, she took her, you know, I mean, it goes that way because it's not like you're equipped with these great skills on how to be a great friend or how to be a great partner, or nobody teaches us any of that, right? So you're just kind of figuring it out as you go. And that's just the beauty of you taking us on this journey with you, is that you really sharing that we go through a lot and we come back or we come forward with the people that really get us and really can get our authentic self.
Mhm. Yeah, and I like remember I think the first time we met, when McKenna and I were sitting on the plane at Stanford, we went to this volleyball camp, and I guess we were in like 8th grade, 7th grade. Yeah, crazy. And I remember like McKenna like made a joke, and I was like, I don't understand your humor. Like I just did not get like her humor, and now she's like so funny to me. So it's just like the small stuff like that that I'm like, yeah, this definitely has not been like soulmates from the start. um, but yeah, definitely took a lot of work, but I'm happy where we are now, and I'm happy that we put in that work.
Well, and also you just saying, "Hey, I don't get your joke," right? Rather than faking it or any of that. So, you know, just being genuine is such a powerful component of being our best self and who we connect with and our friends and our relationships. So, you've had quite the week in terms of just learning more about you, being on this journey. What would you say are your winning strategies in relationships that you want to take forward and just give as our gift to our listeners?
Yeah, I think my winning strategies are staying genuine, um, checking in with myself before I check in with the other person, because I think a lot of the times for me, I like rush the process, and I like go into a relation with another person without knowing how I feel, and that makes both of us confused. And I don't think that's fair to myself or the other person. So I don't know, checking in with myself, being genuine, and just like anchoring in love.
Hmm. So, can I just add in terms of the gift that we have in our relationship is being for each other in a way that is unconditional, which is how I would value love. And
Mhm.
what did you learn this week in terms of just from our relationship as coach? And, I definitely love you as a daughter as well. And yet I also play the role from a coach perspective with you. And that's something that you're learning. Really, what is somebody that's on this journey in my life? Can I be truthful? Can I talk about things that aren't always good? What did you discover about that?
Yeah, so I was hiding from Carlette for a little bit this week. I think I'm the type of person that like shuts down in my communication. And because I like respect and know Carlette and like you are kind of like another mother for me, I was like, I can't tell her about the things that I've been struggling about and that I haven't been being my best self. And then this morning, before this call, we had the full off camera debrief. And it just like felt so great to open up to someone and like feel supported. And you definitely weren't telling me to keep doing the things that I was doing because it wasn't the best for myself, but like you did it in a way with a lot of love and a lot of like respect for me too. And it just felt so good. And I feel more equipped to like go out into the world. And I don't know, like it was just for me, it just felt like because you had faith in me being a good person and like you were anchored in love, it like made me have a little more grace for myself. And that felt really good. And I appreciate that.
So, team, that's all we just want you to hear is that, surround yourself with people that are for you, that love you unconditionally. It's not about not holding people accountable or not wanting the very best for each other. I mean, I want absolutely the best for Khalia, and I'm also right here in the messiness of it. So, really being authentic to we all have messiness in our life. We have choices and great ones, not so fabulous ones. We're still us. I mean, that's the beautiful part. It's so much more important to get to be together than to lose a relationship because we have a moment that isn't our best moment. So, Kalia, thank you for just the gift of this journey and for sharing the power of relationships and what you're learning.
Thank you. You've been really a lifesaver for me.
Power of love. So, team, it's up to you now. Go out, find your people, find your friends, invest in them, invest in you, be honest, and most importantly, be love. Have a great week.